Hello and welcome to the action here. My name is Jake. You can also call me Atrocious if you like. And today we've got the start of another locals tournament of OP05 as players are gearing up for nationals. Starting off, we've got Red, Purple, Luffy, and Enel. Now, we've had this matchup on stream before, but two completely different players at this point, and I've heard that some things about these decks are a little bit different than prior. The player on the left playing Enel with that custom Enel leader card, very good. Brandon, previously the day before, he actually won back-to-back OP05 box tournaments. So really cool. Definitely a cool deck that I wanted to feature in the video since, you know, it's kind of tried and true to be a good deck, right? Let's see what it's all about. So facing a purple Luffy that Brandon told me was a really cool list, a very interesting list. So we'll see exactly how it goes. Thank you so much to these players for allowing me to record their game, and also Dark Side Games for allowing me to record in their store. If you want some One Piece TCG singles, check out the link in the description below for their site to go get those singles, especially if you watched my market video the other day. Definitely want to see if they've got some of those. So we're going to head into the game now at this point. And so Enel taking a look at his starting hand at first. Looks like he's got at least a Sanji in there, but he's just putting it back. He is not taking that hand. Going to be opting for the mulligan, while Red, Purple, Luffy over to the left is going to keep the hand. Putting out the 3 life. We'll see exactly how this goes. Now, if you're Enel, you're definitely looking for the Holly play, maybe a Shura turn 1 as well. I think Brandon is very heavy in 4 Shuras, big believer in the 4 Shura package, so we'll see if they get it in their starting hand or even in life. I will say, because Shura is still valuable in life. So picking up 5 cards there and then putting out the life. I don't know who's going first and who's going second, so we'll see. The fist bump to go, and off we are. So it looks like the Red, Purple Luffy is starting first. They do have options to play like Nami and stuff, but not having one in hand, just passing the turn and the 2 Dawn turn. Brandon's going to draw, put his 2 Dawn out, and then pass it off to the Purple Luffy. So quick 2 turns going by, and now Purple Luffy on their second turn with 3 Dawn could have an opportunity to make some movement happen. So thinking about what they want to do, could swing 6 to start, but going to be swinging 7 actually. So Enel, as usual, is going to take life early, and it's going to be a quick Sanji blocker off the trigger. They do have to discard a card in hand, and so let's see what they end up discarding. It looks like a 200 million volts of Maru is what is going to be pitched on that one. Purple Luffy not playing too many 4-drop blockers, so a Maru not necessarily the best card that you could get, but getting that perfect turn to play for Enel. The looking at the top 5 for a Holly. They find a Holly, put it in their hand, and then put a Holly down from their hand onto their bench. Now, I don't think Brandon found a Holly in that search. We'll see if he's got one in hand, and it looks like he does not. So just gonna get the Ohm down. I mean, the Ohm is a nice body to put down if you do whiff, but you definitely want to hit to be able to apply the pressure on the Red, Purple Luffy. So Red, Purple Luffy now at 5 Dawn. Looks like they're going to be resting all 5 to put down the Miss All Sunday, ramping up a Dawn and drawing a card off of that as well. Pretty interesting ramp card that I know a lot of people are on it and off about, so cool to see it in this list. Just trying to get ahead on the Dawn and opting not to swing with the Luffy either. So going into Brandon's turn now, we'll see exactly how this goes. At 6 Dawn, could play a Gadatsu, although that wouldn't pop the Miss All Sunday. So Gonna instead first be swinging 6 at the leader, and Purple Luffy's gonna take that, attaching 1 Dawn to the Ohm, swinging another 6 at the red Purple Luffy. Gonna be pitching the 2K Sanji in a second straight turn of the Ohm. So still looking for that Holly in there. We'll see if he ends up finding one. I think he's whiffed 2 ohms, so not something we see a ton, and it looks like he's just going to pass the turn off to the red purple Luffy player. So red purple Luffy now at 8 Dawn. We see they have a guard point in hand that they could potentially use in combating these ohms that are coming down. What else do they have in hand? I think that was a Gum Jet Gatling. Brandon showing off the Gadatsu that he's got in hand, really just looking for potentially like a small blocker that he may have, and red purple Luffy ramping up 1 with the leader ability to start the turn. Looks like he's asking about cards in hand, getting about 5 or 6 cards in hand at this point. Haven't really hit the Ohm Holly combo, so still pretty normal sized amount of cards in hand. So looking at putting 2 Dawn to the side and maybe resting a couple. They're putting in piles of 3 as they're at 9. Could have a Rush Zoro that could come down on here. Rush Zoro could be nice to try to take out one of these ohms, or maybe try to take out some life. Could have 4 or 5. So 4 could be like a Trafalgar Law, just not getting the effect off. 5 could be Rush Luffy. And so we'll see where he decides to go with this one. So he's going to attach 2 to the Miss All Sunday, try to get value on that Miss All Sunday, and swinging 7. We'll see exactly where he swings. Looks like he swung at the Ohm, so just trying to clear the board a little bit. He knows that these swings are going to be a problem if he lets them persist. And so playing that Trafalgar Law, like I had mentioned, with 3 Dawn left. 3 Dawn left, there's maybe not too many options that you can do. Might attach 2 of them and leave 1 open for the guard point, and it looks like they will leave 1 open, swinging 8, and this is probably going to be at leader Brandon the Enel taking it, going to 7. And I kind of wish that he would have waited a little bit to put that law down, because he could have potentially gotten the Enel trapped at 7, but we'll see exactly how this goes. It looks like Enel is going to start off by swinging 5 at the Miss All Sunday, equal in value. We'll see if red purple Luffy counters out of this one, and it looks like he's going to discard a 2K in there. So still got that 1 Dawn up, now swinging 5 again at the Miss All Sunday. So really just putting pressure on that Miss All Sunday and trying to get it out. They are even in prizes, with Enel really having the ability to just loop life and constantly have 1 life. So you're pretty okay with being even right now. I think you're in a decent position, but that Miss All Sunday is going to continue to poke him if he's not careful and take out these bodies. So just getting the jump on that and attaching 1 to the Sanji and swinging. So we usually don't end up seeing Sanji swing too often, but Brandon, not seeing a ton of characters on the field, probably isn't super afraid of losing this next turn, effectively having 3 life with the leader effect. So going to be resting 7 for that beautiful alternate Rush Enel art, and so using guard point to go up to 9 and getting out of that one, escaping the turn without losing a life. So now at 10 Dawn in the draw for turn, we'll see where this red purple Luffy player takes this turn. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they swing at Enel. I kind of like swinging at Enel at times, especially when your opponent, the Enel player, is at like more than 1 life, because if you hit the Enel, right, and they decide to keep it, they could pitch a life instead of letting that Enel get KO'd. So it's effectively like almost like the same value, pretty much. Not exactly, but it is better than getting countered out. So, but Brandon's got a lot of cards in his hand. We do see that Thunderbolt right there in the hand. The Thunderbolt could be used on the Trafalgar Law, if that's the only blocker, to just go ahead and go in for game with all those bodies on board if he gets to keep them. So that could be something that we see Thunderbolt being a very, very valuable card in yellow, played in almost every yellow deck, especially right now in OP05. OP06 though, Yamato, I don't think Yamato plays it, so we'll see where this red purple Luffy wants to go with the Dawn. It looks like they're going to be attaching 2, swinging 8 at something. There's no blocker on the field. Going to be swinging at the Sanji first. So the Sanji going down the blocker and then resting 3 for a Zoro. The Ohm is at 6,000 power, and it looks like they'll attach 2 there. Going to be swinging 7 at the Ohm's 6. So Brandon could use a 2K to get out of it, and he is. He's just going to discard the Capone Beijay. And so with 3 Dawn left here, we'll see exactly where he wants to go. And I think he just passes the turn on there. So could have some counter in there. We know Radical Beam is a very, very good card. We've just seen Guard Point, so there could be another one in there. There's a couple different other options like the Gum Gum Red Hawk and stuff like that. But Brandon is just going to swing leader first and take out that Zoro right there. With that swing, going to be doing 9 Dawn. This is going to be a Yamato play, popping the Law. So getting rid of that Law. Might not be swinging for game this turn, but will be able to definitely whittle down the hand and whittle down the life. So a 6K swing from the Ohm is going to hit into the red purple Luffy. Thinking about potentially a trigger, but I think just putting it in hand and then attaching 1 Dawn and swinging 8 into leader. So with the 3 Dawn up, we'll see if they counter out of this one. And it looks like they are. They're going to Gum Gum Jet Gatling away to go to 9, and going to be pitching a Gum Gum Jet Gatling as well. So going to be drawing a card now. The red purple Luffy is going to have to really clean the board, I feel like, at this point, or potentially like put down some blockers, I would say, because you definitely are on the ropes at this point. The Enel just has a really, really strong board presence with all these big bodies now, with the Yamato and the Enel just free swinging. So going to be resting some Dawn first, playing the Kaido. And so the Kaido going to be popping the Ohm, getting rid of that body. That's a good body to get rid of. And with the rush, could maybe try to swing at the character Enel to potentially like get rid of either a life or the character, but going to start off by swinging at face. And so there is the Enel getting a Satori off the trigger, discarding the Thunderbolt. So not really worried about a blocker at this point. And so the Kaido going to swing either at leader or the Enel character. Either way, cycling the 1 life. And so getting 1 life back, pitching a Gadatsu. And Brandon's going to go into his turn. I think he's got a real strong shot to get game at this point. Going to be getting a card from here, but getting a life off of this 6K swing with leader. It looks like there's a potential trigger effect, and they are going to play it. It's going to be Miss All Sunday there. Miss All Sunday, a pretty good trigger, I feel like, because you can't use it as counter cards. And so thinking about how he wants to do this, making sure it's all correct, and going to be putting 1 Dawn up and a character on body, saying if I get out of this turn, this is a stronger post for me to be able to potentially win the game. So Brandon's got to think about, with that 1 Dawn active, what this red purple Luffy player has got going for him. And so the 6K swing at leader now going to be a 2K discard. So you definitely like to see that if you're Brandon. That's a 8K swing right there with the Gum Gum Jet Gatling, and then the rest of the Dawn on the Yamato. So great job by the Enel to go for that Luffy. Luffy not having a ton of movement with the with the miss all Sundays and stuff. Maybe had a little bit more rough of a hand in there, but just a good game overall. Good solid play showcasing the Enel. You know, didn't even hit a holly on that one at all off the 2 ohms. But that's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again for Darkside Games and these players for letting me record this one. We've got some exciting games around the corner from this tournament, including a winner that I don't think anybody here is going to guess. So let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win this tournament. There were 4 rounds in this one, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.